Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. This is Govardhana Lila. I have to take a step out for 10 seconds and I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, Matajis, I'm back. Hare Krishna, is everyone there?
Hare Krishna, Govardhana Lila.
Hare Krishna, how are you doing? Linda Mataji.
Okay. All right. Just, trying to
I'm so glad you
hear
could join.
something. Yeah, I know. I've been absent. The stress just getting to me. Trying to secure a place in life,
Mm-hmm.
The struggle, the terrible struggle. But I think Leela Marjorie has been praying for me, and with my little deity worship that I do on daily, you have good days and bad days, to sum it all up.
Of course.
You got to roll with the punches, they say,
Yes. Okay. Does anybody, after we do the prayers, does anybody have a book today that would care to read?
I can read, Mataji.
Very nice. This is I'm a Rasa Mataji, I believe. Linda Mataji, do you have a book by any chance?
I do.
Would you care to read today also?
Sure.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept mine too. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. How are you doing, Mataji?
I'm okay, Mataji. Sorry, I keep missing a lot of classes in between, but yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's hard.
Mataji, I don't have a book. I will hear today, okay?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, thank
Must
you.
have been Leva Manjari that said she would read. Okay. Okay, so I'll start now with the prayers.
Oh, what chapter? I'm sorry. What chapter are we in?
Canto 4, chapter 3, texts 10 through 12.
10 through 12.
Okay, that's chapter 3, texts 10 through 12.
10. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Sure. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ganananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Padantikam Panchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nashtat Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Okay, for anyone who has just joined, we're in Canto 4, Chapter 3, texts 10 through 12. Would somebody like to read text 10?
Yeah, I'll read Mataji.
Please, go ahead.
Tatra swasri me nanubrit samhita matra swashriha klina dhiyam cha mataram drakshe chitro kantha mana maharsibir uniyamanam cha mrita adhavara dvajam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My sisters, my mother's sisters, and their husbands and other affectionate relatives must be assembled there. So, if I go, I shall be able to see them, and I shall be able to see the flapping flags and the performance of the sacrifice by the great sages. For these reasons, my dear husband, I am very much anxious to go. Perfect. As stated before, the tension between the father in law and son in law persisted for a considerable time. Sati had therefore not gone to her father's house for a long while. Thus, she was very anxious to go to her father's house, particularly because on that occasion her sisters and their husbands and her mother's sisters would be there. As is natural for a woman, she wanted to go to dress she wanted to dress equally to her sisters and uh, also be accompanied by her husband. She did not, of course, want to go alone. Should I read the next one?
Sure, if you care to. Sure. That would be great, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay. त्वयि एतत् आश्चर्यम् अजातं मायया विनिर्मितं भति गुणत्रय आत्मकां तथापि अहं योषिद् अतत्त्वविचते दीनदिदृक्षे भावमे भावक्षितिम्. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This manifested cosmos is a wonderful creation of the interaction of three material modes, or the external energy of the Supreme Lord. This truth is fully known to you. Yet I am but a poor woman, and as you know, I am not conversant with the truth. Therefore, I wish to see my birthplace once more. Purport. Dakshayani Sati knew very well that her husband, Lord Shiva, was not very much interested in the glaring manifestation of the material world, which is caused by the interaction of three modes of nature. Therefore, she addressed her husband as Aja, which refers to one who has transcended the bondage of birth and death, or one who has realized his eternal position. She stated, the illusion of accepting the perverted reflection, the material or cosmic manifestation to be real is not present in you because you are self realized. For you, the attraction of social life and the consideration that someone is father, someone is mother, someone is sister, which are illusory relationships, is already over. But because I am a poor woman, I am not so advanced in transcendental realization. Therefore, naturally, these appear to me as real. Only less intelligent persons accept this perverted reflection of the spiritual world to be real. Those who are under the spell of external energy accept this manifestation to be fact, whereas those who are advanced in spiritual realization know that it is illusion. Actual reality is elsewhere in the spiritual world. But as far as I am concerned, Sati said, I do not have much knowledge about self realization. I am poor because I do not know the actual facts. I am attracted by my birthplace. I want to see it. One who has attraction for his birthplace, for his body, and for other such items mentioned in the Bhagavatam is considered to be like an ass or a cow. Sati might have heard all this many times from her husband, Lord Shiva, but because she was a woman, Yosit, she still hankered after the same material objects of affection. The word Yosit means one who is enjoyed. Therefore, woman is called Yosit. In spiritual advancement, association with Yoshit is always restricted because if one is like a play doll in the hands of Yoshit, then all his spiritual advancement is at once stopped. It is said, those who are just like playthings in the hands of a human, Yoshit Krida Mrigeshu, cannot make any advancement in spiritual realization. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is Archana Mataji, yes?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And how about text 12? Linda Mataji, did you want to read text 12? You said you had a book. Maybe she had stepped away.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry, my phone was on mute.
Oh, that's okay, Mataji. I just thought you stepped away. Okay, if you care to, you can read text 12.
Let's see. Tasya Prayanatir Abravana Yasito Alakrita Kanta Sakha Rahusas Sriya Yasam Vijabrahi Siti Kanta Nanditam Nabro Vimalakhi Kala Hamsa Pandu Brahi. O never born, O blue-throated one, not only my relatives, but also other women dressed in nice clothes and decorated with ornaments are going there with their husbands and friends, just to see how their flocks of white airplanes have made the entire sky very beautiful. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Here, Lord Shiva is addressed as how do you pronounce that?
Abhava.
Abrava, which means one who is never born. Although generally he is known as Brava, one who is born, Rudra, Lord Shiva, is actually born from between the eyes of Brahma, who is called Shivambrula, because he is not born of any being or material creature, but is born directly from the lotus flower which grows from the abdomen of Vishnu. When Lord Shiva is addressed here as Abrava, this may be taken to mean one who has never felt material miseries. Sati wanted to impress upon her husband that even those who were not related to her father were also going, to say nothing of herself, who was intimately related with him. Lord Shiva, addressed here as blue-throated. Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison and kept it in his throat, not swallowing it or allowing it to go down his stomach, and thus his throat became blue. Since then, he has been known as Nilkanta, or blue-throated. The reason that Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison was for others' benefit. When the ocean was churned by the demigods and the demons, and the churning at first produced poison, so because the poisonous ocean might have affected others who were not so advanced, Lord Shiva drank all the ocean water. In other words, he could drink such a great amount of poison for others' benefits. And now, since his wife was personally requesting him to go to her father's house, even if he did not wish to give that permission, he should do so out of his great kindness.
Thank you very much, Linda Mataji.
Yes, you're very welcome.
I will, this seems to be a continuation of what we were reading yesterday and the days prior. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sati wanted to go to see her family at this particular, let me think here. This was a sacrificial ceremony, and everyone to be seen was going to be seen there. And she was a jiva, just kind of, she was like us, okay? And she was married to Lord Shiva, who is very advanced, okay? He's a demigod, he's a surrendered soul, he's completely pure, he's a pure devotee of the Lord. And so it was explained in the previous verse. I think there were a couple of verses going on here. Lila Manjari so nicely was explaining. Let's see. So they were talking about the marriage and how it's done in the Vedic system, that the dowry is given by the father, and ornaments are usually included, and also the husband usually gives some ornaments. But since Lord Shiva didn't have anything materially, he was a renunciant, he didn't have anything, and he was not interested in those things. He did not give her any ornaments. And so it was supposedly a great thing for her that Lord Shiva didn't take away all her ornaments, okay, and spend them, it says here, on ganja, etc., because those who are intimate associates of Lord Shiva do such things. Now, we're not saying everyone, but many smoke this ganja, and they exploit the dowry, whatever the wife had, the wife's property, etc. So in this case, Sati, she just wanted to go. She had not seen her, she wanted to be with, which is a very common thing for a woman to want to do. And this, of course, on the bodily platform. She says, well, I want to be able to see them. And so she is talking to her husband. She's being very respectful, and she explains that she just wants to see them. She knows that there's this tension between her father and Lord Shiva. And we were listening before to the cursing and counter cursing that was going back and forth between those who were on the father-in-law's side and those who were on Lord Shiva's side. And so it had been a long time since Sati had gone to see her father. And, we know, we were saying that, in a marriage, even in the Western marriages, as well as the Eastern, I come to find out from Lila Manjari, the father walks the bride down the aisle and gives her to her husband. Okay, so at that point, when she becomes the wife, then she's with him, and that's it. The father, in some ways, washes his hands of her, in the sense that the new husband takes that role and takes care of her. Okay, and so she hadn't, because of this tension that was going on between the father and her husband, she hadn't seen any of her family. She hadn't seen her father for a very long time, and so she wanted to go there, and she wanted to see her sisters who were going to be there, and her mom's sisters would be there, and their husbands. So as women, it is understood that women, it's very natural. And we know this in material life, if we're going to see our sisters, we want to dress equally. We want to show that, we are equal to them. And so she also didn't want to go by herself. Her sisters would be accompanied by their husbands. So she too wanted to be accompanied by her husband, only if he, wanted this to occur. And so now in this material, we find out in the next text that she is, once again, Sati is talking to her husband, and she says, look, you know the truths of this material world and the spiritual world. You're aware of all these things, but I'm a poor woman. Now, when it says a poor woman, does not mean poor monetarily, okay? It means that she doesn't have all the facts, and she's bereft of certain knowledge, okay? And so she doesn't know how to, she's not conversant in the Vedas. She doesn't know all the different, the regulative principles and all of these different things. So she's telling him, look, I'm pleading with you. This is where I come from. This is where I was born, and I want to go there again. And this is something that once we advance in spiritual knowledge, it is not supposed to be, well, we're not supposed to be hankering for these things as we advance spiritually. So Sati knew her husband was not interested in the material world, period. He wasn't interested in all these get-togethers and the adorning and, wearing all these jewels and fancy clothes. He just was not, he was beyond it. And he, as a pure devotee, and he wasn't interested in what was going on in the material world and the three modes of material, under the three modes of material nature. And so she calls her husband Aja, and that means he has transcended the bondage of birth and death, or he has realized his eternal position. So all of these things that, once we know that this cosmic manifestation is a perverted reflection of the actual real spiritual world, and the material cosmic manifestation is not present in Lord Shiva. His what's real for him, he's a self-realized soul. So he is beyond that illusion, let's say. And so for him, all of these designations that we have, this is my mother, this is my father, these are my children, I'm an American, I live in the United States, I was born in India, but now I'm an American. all of these are just designations, and all of these relationships that we have in the material world are part of this illusory, are part of illusory relationships. They're not our real relationships. We know that as devotees, our real relationship is with the Lord in the spiritual world. And that's where we came from. And that's where we want to return to. So she's telling him again, Sati says, look, you're beyond this. You're done with all these relationships. You're a self-realized soul. But me, I'm not so advanced in transcendental realization. That's what she means by being a poor woman. And so for her, all of the relationships that, her father, her sisters, their husbands, her mother's sisters, for her, this is what is real, okay? Because she is still under the spell of the external energy, okay? And we know that as we advance in spiritual knowledge, we will come to know that this is illusion. It's still kind of hard for me.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, am I wrong?
Actually, I just wanted to add something. It's not that she is under the spirit influence of external energy. She is Maya herself. So Sati is not an ordinary jiva like one of us. She is the eternal consort of Lord Shiva. So she is an expansion of Durga, or his wife. So she and Durga is none other than the external energy. So she is a pure devotee also, like Lord Shiva. And, in the purports, Prabhupada is writing that she has affection, but I don't know if we can actually compare her with a regular person like one of us, because she's a pure devotee of the Lord. And also, she's an eternal consort of Lord Shiva.
At this point, Mataji, in this part of the purport, was she always an eternal consort? Was she a pure devotee of the Lord at this point, or was this something she developed?
Yes, she was always she just like Lord Shiva, it's not a position that she like Lord Brahma, he's a jiva soul, but he takes the position of Lord Brahma. So, but with Lord Shiva and his consort, Parvati, who is also called as Durga, who is also called as Sati, they are eternally pure devotees of Krishna. So at this point also, she's a pure devotee of the Lord.
I did not know that, Mataji. Thank you very much for clarifying that.
You're welcome, Mataji.
Yes. Okay, well then it says that she still hankered for the same, the material objects of affection, and a woman is called Yoshit. Okay. And of course, we know from, or at least I've learned that brahmacharis and men in general, whether they're, brahmacharis or in vanaprastha or they're sannyasis, its association with women is restricted because if a man becomes enamored of a woman, becomes like a plaything in her hands, according to this, what Prabhupada is saying here, and all his spiritual advancement will go down the tubes. And so, yeah. So even if she, well, this part I don't know, you'll have to explain it to me. Even though she was a woman and she was a pure devotee, she still wanted to look beautiful and dress up and say she hankered for her family. I don't know why, if she's already a pure devotee. Maybe she's, I don't know. So you'll have to explain that part to me. That's why I didn't know that. Okay. And in this text 12, Lord Shiva is, Prabhupada is explaining what Lord Shiva was like, and he was never born, it says. He was blue-throated. Not only my relatives, but also other women dressed in nice clothes and decorated with ornaments are going there with their husbands and friends. Just see how their flocks of white airplanes have made the entire sky very beautiful. So again, Sati is addressing her eternal consort, Lord Shiva. And it says, one who is Abhava, he's addressed as Abhava, which means one who's never born. Although generally he's known as Bhava, one who is born. So he was born between the eyes of Brahma, who's called Svayambhu. But he was, Lord Shiva was not born of any human being or material creature. He was born directly from the lotus flower that grows from the abdomen of Vishnu. So he's addressed here as a Bhava, and it may be taken to mean one who has never felt material miseries. So that might be the difference. Not that he's never born, but that he has never felt material miseries, seeing that he came from, born from the eyes of Lord Brahma. And so Sati wanted her husband to know that even people who weren't related to her father, could have been just friends, etc., and they were all also going. And Lord, and I don't know this pastime, but Lord Shiva was addressed as blue-throated because he drank an ocean of poison, and he kept it in his throat. And his throat became blue, I guess, because he didn't allow it to go all the way down into his stomach. And because of that, he's been known as Nilakanta or blue-throated. Again, here we see that Lord Shiva is very, very kind. I'm learning more and more about him as I'm reading this. He drank the ocean of poison for others' benefit. It's so when the ocean was churned by the demigods and the demons, it first produced poison. So that poison could have affected other people who were not advanced spiritually. So he drank all of that ocean water. So he did it for other people's benefits. And so here he's so kind to the living entities to do that. And so even if he didn't want to give his wife permission to go to this event, this sacrificial, what was it called? Sacrificial ceremony, he should do it out of his kindness. Okay, so I don't know what happens, but I would imagine all her request did not go in vain to see her father, because we're seeing here how kind Lord Shiva is. And that's all I really have. But what I wanted to know is how Sita is both a liberated soul, and yet is still hankering for family, or if that's just because she's a woman. I'm not sure. Maybe because women are considered to be less in knowledge. Maybe that's it. I'm not quite sure. So that was my question. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Govardhana Lila Mataji, for the beautiful explanation. So, I was looking to see if Prabhupada ever mentioned anything about Sati, and there is a brief conversation. It's a lecture on Bhagavad Gita, and towards the end, there are some question and answers. So, a devotee is asking Prabhupada, what is the position of Lord Shiva? And Prabhupada says, Lord Shiva is a demigod, but he is higher than all other demigods. He is higher than Lord Brahma also, but he is not the Supreme Lord. Just like there are different gradations, that is not difficult to understand. In society, also, there are different gradations. Similarly, the living entities, there are different gradations. So, all the living entities, some of them are situated in higher planets, some of them are situated in lower planets, and some of them are situated in high grade life, in low grade life. So the demigods are also, they are living entities, but they're enjoying better standard of life due to their acts of piety. But Lord Shiva is not amongst the living entities. He's above the living entities, but he is counted as one of the demigods. But his position is better than Lord Brahma even. Brahma is to be the highest living entity within the universe, and Lord Shiva's position is higher than Lord Brahma. Then a devotee is asking, does Lord Shiva also have a consort like a potency? Prabhupada. Devotee. Does Lord Shiva have a wife like a consort? Prabhupada. Yes, Parvati. Devotee Parvati. Prabhupada. Sati. Everyone has got wife. Yes, Shakti. Dayananda, he's asking a question. Is Lord Shiva a devotee of Lord Krishna? Prabhupada, yes. Everyone is devotee. Only the madmen, they are not devotees. Then it continues. Prabhupada, any sane man is devotee of. Sanity means become devotee. That is sanity. And one who is not a devotee is insane, insanity. So how you can expect that Lord Shiva is not devotee? He's not insane. We are the material, the ordinary living entities in low grades of life. They are all insane. What is that? Yes. Yes. Dayananda. Lord Shiva's relationship with Durga. Does he have a relationship with Durga? Prabhupada. Yes. Durga is the material energy. So Lord Shiva is directly connected with the material energy. Therefore, he is less than Lord Vishnu. Vishnu is not directly related with the material energy. The example is given in the Brahma Samhita, just like milk. As soon as in touch with something sour, it becomes yogurt. Yogurt is nothing but milk, but in connection with some sour material, it is yogurt. So, yogurt is milk, but it is not milk also. Your child requires milk. You cannot give yogurt. Nobody can argue, oh, yogurt is milk preparation, why not give? No, it is not beneficial for him. So, similarly, if you want release from this material world, you have to take to Vishnu, no other demigod. If you want strength, then you have to drink milk, not yogurt. Yogurt at the same time you can eat for some taste or some particular purpose. The milk is general drinking. Just take the statistics. How many bottles of milk are sold in the store and how many bottles of yogurt is sold? The yogurt and milk is the same thing. Why they will demand milk and not yogurt? Is that right? Yes. But nobody can put an argument. Oh, why do you drink milk? Take the yogurt. No. Yes. Revati Nandana. Is it all right that Lord Shiva's picture is in the new calendar that's come out? Prabhupada, Lord Shiva is devotee. Why not? Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. So that's the end of the conversation. So I don't know. I'm sure there are more references where Prabhupada talks about the position of Durga Devi. So Sati is none other than Durga Devi. So if any other devotees want to answer this question before we move on to the second part of the question, if anybody would like to share something.
Mataji, I have not read this in the Srimad Bhagavatam, so I don't know whether to, I have not heard this from Prabhupada, but whatever I have heard, I am sharing. Like you said, Durga is Sati is Durga and Parvati are all the same, the external energy of the Lord. But the external energy she is a devotee of the Lord, but she is also under illusion. She does not know that there is a spiritual world, or she keeps asking her husband, Shiva. Parvati always asks, whom are you meditating on? Who is he? Tell me about him. So she does not know. And in the Sati, when she came as Sati, she came as a human being. So she was under the influence of three modes of nature. So when she married Lord Shiva, he told her that now you have to meditate and you have to get above these three modes. Otherwise, you will have a problem, because she also had a lot of pride that she is Dakshayani, daughter of Daksha and everything. And because of this pride also, she did not listen to Lord Shiva. She just went, and he told her that the consequences will not be good. But she did not listen. Actually, he had told her to do tapasya, and she did not listen. So because she did not listen, and then whatever happened at the sacrificial ceremony, she repented, and that is why she gave away her body, that I did not listen to my husband. And then when she came as Parvati, that is when she meditated a lot, and she got rid of the transcended the three modes, and that is why she's also called as Aparna. That is all the stages in her meditation, that in one stage she was only eating leaves. Parna is leaves, that is why she is called Aparna also. So she herself is also an illusion. She does not know that there is a spiritual world, and she also thinks that this material world is all and all. This is what I've heard. That's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
Can I add something to what Archana said? Hare Krishna, can anybody hear me?
Yes, Mataji, of course.
I mean, I was not following it. I was on another class, but I just heard this. So, according to my understanding, everybody apart from Lord Krishna is under the influence of his energy. Like he says, my energy is very difficult to overcome except by my grace. So like including Brahma, we see as an example how he was illusioned by the Lord into thinking whether he is Lord or not. And so he took away the calves and the gopas. And so he was, and then after that, the Supreme Lord took him out of illusion that you shouldn't have done that when he produced similar ones. And so also in the form of, if we take the example of Lord Shiva, he himself was mesmerized by Mohini Murti, and he totally lost his senses, or he was totally under his illusory energy, and he got attracted. And many times, like he also is like we see how he gives spoons to demons, and then he cannot save himself from that predicament. And he is also many times overcome by the illusory energy of the Lord. I don't remember other instances, but apart from Mohini Murti, there are one or two, I believe. I'm forgetting. So that's why everybody in the realm of this world, from the lowest to the highest, is under the spell of time and illusory energy, because he says that himself, that it is very difficult to overcome except by my grace. So just wanted to add, not only Sati, but also Lord Shiva and also Lord Brahma, and so I mean other demigods come below them. So just wanted to add without elaborating a lot. So
Thank you very much, Ruchi Mataji. That's they're both, and Archana and Lila Mandri, all three of you. So I'm gathering that these are pure devotees, but they could still come under, because they are not Krishna, they are subject to the three modes. They can become illusion. Not that they do easily, but it does happen. And then I'm assuming, and Sati, well, that's a whole other story here. She, yeah, I'm still a little confused about her, because it seems that, you know, she was like a human or whatever, subjected to the three modes of material nature is what I'm understanding. Yeah, it's still a little tricky for me, the Sati. But that's, you know. So I was asking, was it because she was a woman that she had, because women are considered to be less intelligent spiritually?
well, can I add something? So sorry, go ahead.
Well, that you know, that she was so taken by her family, and you know, she was hankering for her family and things. That's all. Well, go ahead, Ruchi Mataji.
Ruchi Mataji, very nice explanation. Thank you.
Thank you. So I just wanted to add what my mother once told me, that why, so behind everything there is a reason. So like, I don't know if I'm going out of context, but so why this happened was because during the incarnation of Ram, when Ram was going, and then she came and pretended to be Sita. Then she went to test Ram in spite of Lord Shiva's objection that he is the Supreme Lord, but she did not believe him and she wanted to test him. So she went in the form of Sita, and Lord Ram immediately recognized her and said that, "Mother, what are you doing here?" That's something that my mother told me. So and I've read it also. So then after that, Shiva never accepted her because he looked at her uh, in a different perspective. So then he never gave her a seat next to her. So that's why he had kind of um, uh, given up on her, not given up, but he had kind of could not maintain that relationship with her, and so he went into samadhi. And so already she was dealing with this fact that she has to give up the body, and so it was all arranged by the divine Lord. So I'm just saying how, like, since like we are thinking about why Sati acted in this way, and she got so illusioned in spite of knowing everything, because even in spite of her high position, is because each and everybody is acting according to the plan of the divine Lord, and where what a person does, how events unfold, it's all only the divine Lord can tell, including all the from the ant to the highest entity is all governed by his divine plan and illusory energy. So that's something I wanted to add, why she was acting like that, why she was overcome by the illusory energies, also because of a plan that had to happen. She had to give up that body because Lord Shiva had stopped accepting her. So just wanted to add that.
Thank you very much, Ruchi Mataji. That helps. That helps me understand it a lot better. You know, it's the first time I'm even hearing any stories about Lord Shiva. So this is all very nice, very new to me.
I have not heard that story before, Ruchi Mataji.
You can look it
Thank you
up.
for sharing.
It's in Ramayan. It's in maybe you will find it on the internet. That when he was going for Vanvas, Lord Ram was going for Vanvas. Then Lord Ata Sati and Shiva, they were in their divine thing, and then Sati said, "Why is he crying like an ordinary person? Because he is like." Why is he crying like this? Because he is the Lord himself. Then how come he is affected by his wife going away? He is above all this. He is like so so he so Lord Shiva said it's all his Leela, and he has to um he is doing his Leela, but she was not able to believe that he is the Lord himself, because she was so like Lord Brahma could not believe that he is acting like an ordinary person, and so he went to test. So similarly, Sati went to test, so she took the form of Sita, and so she went there, and Lord Ram immediately recognized her and said that, "Oh, where is Lord Shiva, and what are you doing here, mother?" And so she got embarrassed. So then Lord Shiva asked her that, "Did you find out?" So she lied to him and said that, "No, I was convinced by you. I did not uh, take any test." And she came back. But Lord Shiva also knows everything that's happening. And so he could see that she is hiding that from him, hiding that from him. And so he could not give her a seat equal to her, because she had, because she had, like, for whatever reason, doubted and she had also taken the form of Sita. So he could not of like the consort of Lord Ram, so he could not give her a seat next to her, and he always used to give her a seat up in front of her. And then he went into samadhi because he could not maintain that relationship with her. And so he went into samadhi for a long, long time. And then when he woke up, and then she was already having problems with the relationship because he was not ready to accept her because she did not listen to him. And second of all, she tested Lord Ram against his wishes. And third of all, um, she took the form of Mother Sita, and fourth of all, she lied. So he could not accept her as his consort because she had taken the form of Mother Sita. So he could not look at her with the same eyes anymore of a consort. So then it had to happen that she was thinking about giving up her body anyways. So it was all arranged by the Divine Lord to like. So the moral of the story, why I said it, because we were all discussing about how come Sati, who is at such a high level, who is the impersonification of Maya herself, is also bewildered, is what is like everybody is actually acting according to the plan of the Divine Lord. And um, including from the lowest and to the highest entity, they are all governed by the divine plan. And so just had to surrender to his plans, because it was already her desire to give up her body, which Lord Shiva couldn't accept. So he had to arrange it somehow so that she could give up that form of hers and take another form.
Hmm. Yeah, actually, I feel like, there are many, many pastimes of the Supreme Lord as well as his devotees who are on a very elevated platform. And we have to hear in properly from somebody in the disciplic succession to understand the deeper meanings of why a certain pastime happened in a certain way. And regarding Govardhana Lila Mataji's question, just because somebody wants to dress nicely doesn't mean that they are under the material modes of nature, or they're bewildered. Prabhupada does make this point, like, in his purport, and he wants to teach us through her example. But um, just because some devotee is acting in a particular way does not diminish his spiritual position. We can see this from many, many examples, because the Lord has some devotees who are extremely forgiving, and some devotees who want to take revenge, like Bhima. He was not forgiving at all. He wanted revenge because he was in the body of a kshatriya. So he wanted revenge, where he was not talking about forgiveness. On the other hand, like Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was always talking about forgiveness. He wanted to forgive. And so there is a huge spectrum of the Lord's devotees. And one of the examples that I heard was recently of George Harrison. And one of the devotees was he was asking Chandramali Maharaj, oh, George Harrison may not be following all the rules and regulations, like, what would be his destination? And Chandramali Maharaj, he responded by saying, just because George Harrison, we may be thinking he may not be following all rules and regulation, it does not diminish his position as a great devotee of the Lord, because he did so much to spread Krishna consciousness. So I feel that, we cannot put devotees into a particular category by saying, okay, if they dress up, they are not devotees of the Lord. If they become famous, then they are not devotees of the Lord. Or if they look extremely handsome, they cannot be devotees of the Lord. If they are willing to take revenge, they cannot be devotees of the Lord. That's a very um, that's not a way to define devotees. A devotee means who has taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. And there is no doubt that, Mother Durga is a great devotee of the Lord. She's the external energy of the Lord, and she serves the Lord in in a very significant way. So maybe we can keep this question open, about the actual position of Mother Sati, and go back and read from Prabhupada's books and other reference material and see, like, what exactly is her position.
That sounds like a good idea, Leela Mandri Mataji. Yeah. Because I don't know. I'm going to look. I don't know if I'll get to it by tomorrow, but I'm very tired right now. But I will try to. Yeah, any one of us, we can look this up. This position of the Mother Sati. It's these are for the first time for me to hear them. Imagine that, these stories. So I'm loving this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'd like to have a better understanding as I go along.
Yes,
I don't want to misinterpret the Vedas or anything like that. So. Okay, well, it's 6 minutes after 6. Does anybody else have a comment? Because if not, I think we can continue tomorrow. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for being there today, for being there for me, and just being here for each other. And that's it. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.